and did not want to touch it again.
Well, I'm curious, DJM, is there anything you can tell us about, I mean, the same question I ask everybody. What can you tell us about your process? Anything you want to share about where the idea came from? And you mentioned all these updates. What is driving these updates? Like, what makes you decide to make a change to it?
Um,
Hey.
so to be not long, just it's mainly the median session time. I check this and I see that if it's a good game, it should be over 1 minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So for this game, I feel it has potential for the City Rider game. I feel it has potential, but it's stuck around 1 minute 20, and I'm struggling to find what's the point that makes people leave. And I'm trying different techniques, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
with rewards, sometimes with making the game easier. So
Mm-hmm.
I also see the comments in the game, the player comments, and they sometimes last time they asked for more bikes. Uh, Last time they asked for to remove some to remove the how it called this, the onboarding, something like that. So as the player reacts, I see the game lives, so I'm trying to make it better.
Mm. That's great. I mean, obviously, the first challenge for most of us is to just get a game that's popular in the first place. But I love the idea of looking at your analytics, looking at your median playtime, and then saying, what can I do to make that number go higher? Something we talked about a little bit in Astro Academy, which is the very, very shallow end of this particular pool, is seeing if you have a bunch of drop offs in the first 10 seconds, because that usually means there's something either wrong with how long it takes to download, especially on slower connections, or it could be something like onboarding. People are confused by a title screen or a tutorial. But this is a reminder that even if you get past all that, even if you achieve that minute and a half median playtime, there's still a lot of room to grow. So that's a great reminder. DJ, does any of this come from like feedback, any kind of play testing or people face to face, or is it all looking at numbers?
Mostly looking at numbers mostly because that's the most we have. And sometimes ask people to test, and I see how they react.
Uh-huh.
And also there's my proper feeling. I try the game myself and try to check what's the what makes the people um, how do you say that, feel what make the people frustrated. So I try to play like a normal, not a normal, not a good player, and see that sometimes I see that I fall too much, so I have
Oh,
to make this that easier, etc. So a
that
lot
okay.
of testing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting. So you're saying you try to kind of simulate what a bad player would experience by just deliberately playing badly yourself to see if your game is too frustrating, that kind of thing?
Yes, yes, because
Such a cool idea. We have this whole section about throttling your connection in your browser to simulate a slow connection to see if it downloads too slowly. I had never thought about simulating poor player skill. That's such a cool idea, though. That's really smart.
but when I see that a lot of people, other players leave early, is that they are they must. I think they must fall. How do you say? Must hit vehicles a lot of times. So I try to find what the solution I can find for them to make them uh, to help them, but not to make the game too easy for the normal players.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really cool. Hey, Knox is here. How's it going, Knox? Good to see you. Been a while. Well, DJM, this is awesome. And we appreciate you giving us kind of an unofficial peek into your process. If you're ever interested, we would love to have you do maybe more of like a proper little kind of game design lecture or something. I think people could learn a lot from you. So it's awesome to see you're still making great games. Keep up the good work. And again, everybody, just I think this is really important to like recognize. DJam's been making games that are just straight up bangers for a while. And that 10 million play threshold that he crossed, not only is it the first person to do it, although of course Erica is close behind because she's also the numbers queen, but it really is, if you look at the number of games in DJam's profile, you'll see that it's a lot of hits and not a lot of misses. It's just very focused on really high quality. And DJam, I think you told me, or you told us rather, I think a couple weeks ago you were in the call, something like a week or two per game? Is it something like that? Like how long roughly are you spending on your games?
Yes, at least for at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
And but for this one, for the City Rider, I kept this nearly 1 month checking what's wrong and making updates.
Mhm.
And it's been one month, and each time, like Toxic, I say, "This is the last time," and then I see it. I see the still not top, so I try to make some little updates.
Okay, no, sorry. I have one more question, if you don't mind, because you just touched on something that's really important that I think might change the way a lot of us think about this. So you've got all these games that are just super successful, but do these games start off that way? Like, are they in the neighborhood of success, and then you kind of push them over the edge a little bit, or have you made a game that was perhaps by your standards, very unsuccessful at first, but then you got it to a point of success after publishing it by making changes? In other words, how much of your game's success comes from the initial 2 weeks of work versus stuff that you do in response to like looking at the analytics?
That's easy. It's half of them. The Tunker game and the Astroman, they worked without without needing to make updates.
Uh-huh.
But the Digimania,
Uh-huh.
it was not very good at start, and then I came to the office hours and had you remember I had the standard combo to test them, and
Mm.
and you also made some remarks about the onboarding,
Mm.
and then I worked during 1 week or two more to make it reach the player the player choice.
Mhm.
And for this one, for the for the City Rider, it was very poor at the start. It was a 1 minute session, a
Mm.
medium session, and
Mhm.
I I made a lot of updates until this week. It was selected in the player choice.
That's awesome. So I want everyone to really think about that. Your game does not have to be an instant hit. I mean, obviously, you want to put all the work you can into making it as good as possible, but it sounds like at least sometimes the secret to really breaking out on Astrocade is to get something good out there, but then react. If you see that people aren't playing it as long as you like, if you look at the different play session lengths, you can try to make changes to see if you can make it better. And it sounds like DJM has demonstrated that. That's great to know, because I think a lot of people get a little bit discouraged. They put a ton of work into something and then they don't get the results they want immediately. But if it's possible to actually make those changes after the fact, I think that gives us all a little bit more freedom to try some things, make some mistakes, and then correct them. So that's great. Thanks for sharing that. And by the way, if I'm catching what you
Just
said
a
correct,
little remark
yeah,
that that maybe that won't work for any game, because I think there are some games that have intrinsic limitations.
sure.
So if I do it only if I believe that the game is cool, I'm happy playing it, and I have fun playing it, and then I think that should be shared, and so I try to update it until it feels perfect.
That's awesome. But you also heard it here first, folks. DJam literally just said his games are terrible. Then he comes to Astro Academy. We say a few things and they become amazing. So learn from DJM's example. We are the secret to DJM's success. No, I'm kidding. See, he's such a nice guy. He pretends that's true. Actually, so one more question for DJM. Anything else? I know you're on your press tour to promote City Rider, which is well deserved. But anything else in the creative pipeline that you want to tease? Maybe you don't have to show us, but anything you want to talk about?
Not directly. I have the 2 games that are waiting for months now, so I want to finish them. One about how do you say it? The influencer, and another I started after Tanko Arena. It's a bit of same style, but I still didn't find the time to advance them with all the game jams, etc., and the updates on City Rider. So there are some games to come, but I can't give a date.
Okay, no worries. I appreciate it. Thanks again, DJM. This has been awesome.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I'm going to take Chakra. Oh, no, it's Chakra, right? I'm going to take Chakra's very subtle suggestion that we get going. Let's jump into some games. Oh, you know what? I was asking though, just before we started talking to DJM about his process. Did everyone? It sounds like people are making their way through the courses. I just wanted to check in one more time. Anybody have any big questions or issues with the content in the courses? If there's anything that's unclear that you're struggling with, let me know here, and of course, tell me, via @ or DM. But checking in with everyone because we do really want to get in the habit of making progress and getting everyone through all the lessons and seeing what it does to your games. So now's the time to speak up if something's not making sense. Yeah, toxic race is a good point. Your passing or failing is entirely based on multiple choices. So if any of my trick answers got you, it's tough. That's life. The ultimate game is Astro Academy itself. And it sounds like Toxic has lost that game. It's game over for Toxic. No, honestly, the multiple choice stuff, it doesn't really matter. The only reason I threw that in there's not like grading or anything, but I do think it's important. Other than trying to find opportunities to make dumb jokes, the main purpose of the multiple choice is to pick out the most important concepts from a lesson and just give you one more chance to kind of cement that memory of it by just going through a manual step of picking the right answer. It's really all it's like a refresher kind of thing, right? So no worries if any of your scores weren't perfect. I also think, given a little bit more time, if you guys got anything wrong, I'm sure you'd get it right. So it's not like these are like serious tests. But I do think it's good because when we read stuff, it's kind of natural to just at some point, even if you really care about it, you're kind of skimming and glossing over it. And I think a quiz is just a quick way to make sure you actually did retain the important stuff. So that's it. All right, let's share some screens here. So let's check out the latest of Shardians, which apparently has been updated according to this thumbnail. That's pretty cool. And in fact, the game starts with the latest updates. So by the way, Chakra is our latest Astro Academy attendee. Chakra has joined a little. Yeah, Erica, I promise we'll get to you. Don't worry. Has joined the course, and because of that, this is a game that was started before Astro Academy. Something I would still recommend, Chakra, if depending on where this game goes, it might be nice to start a new game from scratch using the Astro Academy process, but we can also apply it to this game as well. So no big deal. But I would recommend, unless you have like DJM level numbers where you have like 10,000 plays a day, this is probably going to confuse new players. So it may not be important yet to have things like updates. It's a cool idea, but it may just be friction for people that are swiping through games looking for something to play. So something to think about. All right, let's check out Shardians of the Guards. I don't know why I like swapping that around so much. Okay. And same feedback I had yesterday. I think that it's very cool that you're giving me so many options. I like that, but I think just as an experience, if I'm a brand new player, it's not super clear that I hit ready to fight to start. I feel like I'm doing a lot of clicking to get the game going. But like I said, I do think it's great you've got the intro sequence, and it's really cool that I can skip it if I don't care, but I can watch it if I do. We saw it yesterday. It's great. If anyone hasn't seen it, I would recommend checking out this game because there's a lot of really creative thought that went into the intro sequence. War 1, Level 1, Spring Wave, Survive and Collect. Okay, let's do it. So I'm moving around with the keys. Let's see, can I? Oh, look at this. We've got new aiming. This is pretty cool. This is very cool. You know, every time I play this game, the visuals look significantly more refined, which is an exciting thing to see. Something I would still really love, I mentioned it last time, but I'll just keep mentioning it. I would really love when I shoot this red square, I want to see him kind of get knocked back a little bit. I mean, I personally do. If it doesn't match your vision for the game, you know, do what you want. It's not my job to change your game for you, but I would recommend it because I think it'd be really satisfying. Whenever I shoot it, there's a sense of like physical ricochet or reaction or something. Or it could shake. I mentioned it could like scale and pulsate. By the way, the glow effect, you can see this on your screens, everybody. The glow effect on the projectile is really cool. I love the subtlety of it. Really, really, really like that. Chakra, what is the new power? Can you point it out? By the way, I love this aiming mechanism. I don't exactly know what it's going to be like on mobile. I'm sure it works fine, but man, I'm surprised at how natural this feels on desktop. So here's what I'm doing. I am moving with the WASD keys, but then I'm using my trackpad to just kind of gently move my targeting wherever I want to fire. Ooh, speed boost, cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game that I think is really cool. It started off as a kind of a simple geometric take on like Vampire Survivors or something, and it's still that genre, but it's really kind of coming into its own. There's a lot of great stuff here that I really like. Oh, is this no, that's not a force field. But what is, oh, the new power, probably this, right? Whoa. So many effects in this game. You know what's great about the geometric primitive look of just these simple shapes is that you can then do all these cool animations. Wow, this is very psychedelic. And all these animations play really nicely with the shapes because the shapes are simple, but they can move around in all sorts of cool ways. Ultimate activated energy wave. I just love how ambitious all the kind of cinematic stuff in this game is, which is a funny contrast because the visuals themselves are just simple shapes, but then there's just so much creativity in the way that they move and animate. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is really, I agree, Pika, this is awesome. Okay, great job. Oh, and then I got a cooldown and everything. Nice. So again, I'm really going to encourage, because now that I see how much there is in this game, I really don't want you to lose players that just don't have the attention span to click through the first few menus. I think it would be amazing if when the game starts, I mean, maybe you drop me into that cinematic intro with the skip button, because some people are just going to skip it. But you know, if they do skip it, at least they play the game. But beyond that, I would really recommend just starting the game, like just drop me off like this, right? And then you can give me the options, you can give me customization options and menus. That can all come later. But I think this is the first experience, the first impression people should have when they play the game. And I think if they see this, they'll get into it. Because I'm having fun just running around. I'm not even really trying, and I still think it's kind of fun to play. This is what I mean about if the game mechanic itself is fun, even if you're not that caught up in the meta loop of the game, you'll still play the core loop of the game. So yeah, I would lose some of this stuff, or just rather not lose it, but just move it till later. Like give me a chance to do it later on, but drop me off here quickly because this is just going to really excite people, I think. Alrighty. Let's move on to we'll jump back to start over. Erica, what is the latest on your game? I know you're having some tech issues. We submitted that bug, so I'll let you know if we hear back. We should hear back, but what's going on?
Yeah, so I actually had another issue. So I sent you the screenshot. It basically keeps refreshing itself. I sent you. I just DM'd you the screenshot that I see for the game itself. It's still
Yeah, no,
on pending.
Even
Well, oh, sorry.
I submitted. So that's what the dev team's looking at now. We're going to try to figure out what that refreshing issue is. But it is just on the bright side for players. It does seem to play fine. Like I'm still having no issues with it.
Yeah, it's still on pending for some reason, which is kind of weird. Like even though you said standard combo said it was approved, and he also said so, but it's still pending.
Okay, we'll after that I'll ping him again and we'll see if there's anything else
Okay.
getting in the way.
But other than that, I did follow Toxic's because I watched the video and he said to make the projectile straight. So I tried to do that. That was the
Yeah.
last edit that I did, and then I basically submitted it.
Okay, great. So also, Erica, you brought up a really good point. Lesson 7 in Astro Academy is all about download times, right? And it's a very important topic, especially for a game like this, because it looks beautiful. But the problem is when a game looks beautiful, that's often an indication that it might take a while to download. So figuring that out, figuring out how long it takes and looking for opportunities to kind of speed things up is an important step. However, if you are like Erica and I think a couple other of our creators who pretty much exclusively uses your phone, that does make it a lot trickier because the tools that we recommend you use, which are built into a browser like Chrome for throttling your download times and testing slow connections, which is great, it's not really easy to do on a phone. So that's something we're going to have to kind of think a little bit more about. I'm putting some time aside today to try to come up with some options for creators like Erica. But other than that, Erica, why don't you, because I think at this point you've gone through the whole course, is that correct?
Yeah, I went through the whole course. I guess the only issue would be the phone stuff, like the media and the download thing, unless there's a way where maybe we just contact you or someone and you guys test it on your end and then help us within until we could get the proper, I guess, equipment to do it on our own. That was like an idea I had.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we made. The problem is, Chris, it's very hard to scale that, and we want to make sure people like. And if you make, if you make 38 more games today, you want to have the ability to do that on your end as well, without having to wait for us. So that's kind of a work in progress. We'll figure that out. Other than that, though, you've gone through the other lessons. What has stood out to you? What about your process has hopefully been influenced by those lessons? I think the biggest one I'm guessing is it sounds like you're doing a lot of testing. You and Toxic have been doing a lot of collaboration, which is great. Anything else?
Yeah, I guess I noticed how, like, even though I make a lot of games, I do like spending some extra time on like first like showing this game and other games to you, the ones that I guess are better. And also, I do like the course itself because the course showed me like, oh, I could do this and this now, and I could read and learn, and I guess just get an idea of like what's working, and what's not working. Even though I do make a lot of games per day, but some of the games are just casual ones, and then I save the better ones for the Astro Academy or for the I guess the office hours, but it did help learning more about like how to improve the games overall and just learn stuff that I didn't know.
Okay, well, how about this? Let me throw a couple of questions at you. So one thing is the core mechanic. Um,
Hmm.
what was your process of kind of coming up with that? I know you worked with Toxic a lot, but like the reason I'm asking is there's kind of two big things that come out of the course. One is spending a lot of time on the core mechanic to make it play really nicely just on its own before we get into all the big details. And then another section is on, I think it's lesson 5, is about the meta loop or the game progression, which is how the game goes over time. So those are kind of two different angles. One is like the small picture, and then one is zooming out to the big picture of your game. So maybe, I don't know, if you can just share some of your thinking on how you approached this game, thinking about the core mechanic and then thinking about progression. Like progression in this case would be like upgrades and the bosses and how tough the enemies are, that kind of thing, you know?
For me, the keeping it simple, I like making easy, simple games. So this would be one of them where you just move around to the core mechanic and then you just tap the enemies. And as for the upgrade system, which is the meta loop, would basically just be like, since you recommended, get the wand when you beat some enemies, upgrades here and there, coins. So that would be like, I guess, and then you just progress forward, progress yourself forward. So I guess that's basically a little bit of like the meta and the core. Did I cover it?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know what? Now that I'm playing through this, by the way, I do have one recommendation. So in the lesson on progression and like the meta loop, we talk about upgrades and difficulty and all that stuff. But another thing we talk about is visual variety. Now you've got a lot of that in a sense because you've got all these new wand upgrades that have different effects. You have different enemies. But I think one thing that might be missing that could actually be kind of an easy thing to add, but that could add a lot of longevity, like people will play your game a little bit longer, is I want this environment to change after a while. Like for instance, you've got this purple sky, which looks really cool, but after I've done a number of waves, maybe it could be like a time of day change, or it could just be a color. Maybe it's red at some point, or maybe it's blue, or maybe it's like a dark green. It's like creepy looking. You've also got these textures, right? Like this brick texture, which again looks really cool. But after a while, maybe these things swap out. Maybe the floor and this and the wall texture and the sky color change. And so I feel like I'm going through different levels or different environments. But again, it's from your point of view, it's very superficial. You're just swapping out texture, swapping out colors. There's no complicated game logic. But I think if someone's really into your game, even if they love it, and I mean, you watch me play it, I get into it, I like it. But after a while, it just, because it looks similar, that I just start to kind of get my eyes glaze over a little bit. So maybe finding ways to mix up that background color and texture could be just an easy thing to make people play the game longer. Something to think about.
So since it is still impending, I can't edit. The only issue is I have that refreshing bug. So if I want to try testing it or make wishes, I don't know how that's gonna go because it took me like I was trying to change the title and it just kept refreshing, and I'm like, I just need to change one thing, and it's like I don't know how to make any more wishes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's something we'll have to figure out. I mean, this is a problem, so we have to solve it for sure. But it's maybe something to put on your list for once we've got that bug worked out.
And like DJM said, like once the game is like published, we can go back in and make the edits as long as it doesn't break the game.
And not only can you, but you should. So I mean, you've put a ton of work into this game. We've all watched you put this together over the last week or two. Once this is out there, no matter how it performs, whether it does great or not so great or whatever, you should definitely follow the numbers, see what the median playtime looks like, and then maybe in next week's office hours or something, we can look at your game's performance and we can say, is there something to improve? Or is there some way to get this number to go higher? Because that's something we should all be doing. So that's maybe the thing to look forward to next, which is kind of exciting because then you're actually responding to real people playing your game, not just thinking about it in advance. So let's.
Because I didn't know that you could. Sorry, because I didn't know that you could, I guess, improve your games after they've been like out there. Because sometimes my games just like drop, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But this game has helped me with. I am making another game, which I do need help with next course. It's basically a zombie game where it's like a zombie shooter game. So it's kind of similar in the same play style, but I'm having some issues with it.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing that. But I feel like what you've still got at this point is a really good game. I know there's some issues to figure out. We'll try to get those bugs worked out as soon as possible. And then my advice would be maybe throw in some visual variety, or maybe just let it go live, see what the numbers look like, and maybe that's something you can do after, once you've done some analysis. So it's really up to you.
Maybe we'll wait till it's live, see how things go, and then maybe next week we could like brainstorm some ideas on how to make it look better.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mean look better. I think it looks great. I just mean more variety.
like visually, like more like levels or color changes. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Erica. And as always, thanks for all the hard work. Looks really good. I'm going to jump into Skull Hunter's game next because this is a really interesting case. Skull Hunter had made a game that was beautifully done, but was so similar to an existing game on the player's choice row that we had suggested, take what you've done here, but just make it more of your own kind of thing. And Skull Hunter really took that advice seriously because not only does this game just look different, but you can tell it's already playing like radically different. So Skull Hunter, if you're here, do you want to share any of your thoughts on how you've changed it? Because the moment I played it, it was like clearly very, very different than the last time.
Yeah,
that's right. Everyone wants to hear the sounds. Yeah, go for it.
So basically, I used the base game that I did, and I talked to add my own flavor. So the base mechanic here is the merge, and I wanted to give a little bit of an extra thing where we have fighting. So basically, I mixed those both one up. So for example, if you can see in the screen, Alex is combining a bunch of ninjas, trying to get as powerful ninjas as possible. And right around at 30 seconds, the enemy ninja should spawn at the top section.
Oh, there you go.
And at 1 minute...
We got to wait for certain people to make an intro. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, and at minute 1, the battle begins. And I did an improvement there because the previous version was really slow. Like it needed a bunch of time to finish the battle. And also I added that fight, as you can see, it got beat up.
This is so.
But also, if you wish, you can also click the fight button at the top section, and the next battle instantly starts.
Oh man, that's so cool. So look, like I said, we had kind of suggested maybe make your game look a little bit different, but you really like transformed the whole game because like you said, you've still got the merge, which is great. It's really fun. It's very satisfying. but this is like just almost a different genre now, which is really exciting. Where did this new kind of battle mechanic come from? Just creatively, how did you decide on that?
It came from the anime because in the Naruto anime they fight always bigger and better opponents, and I thought maybe I could incorporate that one into my game.
What I love about this, by the way, is even though, so this is, guys, I talk about this a lot and it's a tricky subject, is I say, before you add all the juice and all the refinement, make sure the game mechanic itself plays well. But there's a little bit of a subtlety to that, which is sometimes juice is part of what makes a game mechanic good in the first place. And I think this is a great example of that, because when you hit the fight button and you kind of have your little cards and your merge characters battle it out, the idea is pretty simple. On paper, it's just basically just they kind of, bounce back and forth. But just watch how much goes on visually. Look at the shaking, look at the kind of the particles. I mean, to me, this is one of those cases where the juice is a big part of what makes the game mechanic itself work so well. There's just something so addicting about hitting that button and watching these guys fly around and like clobber each other. It's really, really cool. So I think you've done a great job. I'm really impressed by not only how good it looks, but how quickly you like totally retooled your game. So I think this is excellent. What do you think? Where do you want to go next with it? And when I say next, I don't mean necessarily adding more, but like, what's your process look like from here?
I think I'm at the end phase for it because I added all the juice, as you can see, for example, on the right suspect character, there's also that shattering effect. So if the character is getting lower and lower health, then the shatter starts to become more prominent. I also did player favored choices or something like that. I don't know how to frame it. So basically, if you lose, then you don't really lose because you can restart the battle and you can recruit more ninjas. So that's a little trick so that you retain the player, because nobody loves to lose.
I love it. I love it. I know, really, I'm so impressed by this. I think my only thought, and let me just start this over to make sure I've got this right, is I feel like there's now so much going on in terms of gameplay. And I know I'm always picking the worst case scenario here because a lot of people are more familiar with certain genres than I am sometimes. But in this case, I feel like I could use a little bit of guidance especially as a first time player, to know exactly what to. Oh, I guess this picked up where I left off. That's cool. To know exactly what to. Go ahead.
Yeah, it saves the game state. If you want to have a fresh restart, then hit the settings and there you can reset the board at the bottom section. You can also speed up the battle and modify the sound there or the backgrounds and stuff like that. Some little nice stuff there.
Have you actually, so let me ask you a question instead of just lecturing. Have you play tested this new version with the new fight mechanics?
Not really, because I quite literally finished it night.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. But the reason I ask is I'd be curious if you showed this to, say, 2 or 3 new people other than me. I think once you know what you're doing, it's super fun. I'm curious how many people will know exactly what to do the first time through, like with the whole fighting thing. Like you said, it's like 30 seconds, for instance, the first enemy shows up. And that's cool once it happens, but I'm not expecting it until it does happen. So I'm wondering if you could add a little bit more in the way of just guidance and letting people know, like, you're in this kind of build-up phase, and then the enemy appears, and it's like, okay, now you can potentially fight, and showing them you can hit the fight button. So just kind of a simple layer of guidance and tutorial stuff. As always, you want to keep it minimal, but I wonder if there's some key points of instruction that would make this easier for a new player to get into. But that's something, it's a question for testing. It's not about my opinion. So that's probably what I would think about next.
Yeah, I talked about that one, to add an interactive tutorial or something like that, but I don't know. It kind of added a lot of text there, and I was not liking that one.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's always a tough balance. I mean, my advice would for a game like this, because there's so much going on visually, I would think instead of like floating text, maybe there's maybe a sign that even has like a cool scroll kind of graphic that the player just gets used to seeing every now and then, that maybe just has its own part of the screen. It's always at the bottom or the top or something. There's ways to do it. But like I said, it's also testing will let you know. If you see people all kind of asking the same question, at a certain point, you kind of have to give them something. But that's a question for testing to figure out, as opposed to deciding in advance. Because like you said, you don't want to put in too much text. You don't want to overcomplicate things. You should really just do it in response to what people seem to demand. But that's really it. Other than that, I love the way it looks. It always looked great, but now it only looks great, but has really, really unique, a really unique play experience. So excellent job. Love it.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Thanks for sharing. All right. High quality. Tennis Bat City. This is another game that we have seen evolve, and every time I think this play button is different. I love how much creativity goes into this game. Every time there's something new. This is really cool. Okay, tip play. We've got our GameCube tennis ball dispenser. Press on the green to get max power.
Yeah.
Whoa! All right, so if I'm understanding this correctly, and high quality, I will check the chat in a second, so please feel free to share. I think what has happened is there is now basically one thing. You look at this meter, you wait until, oh, I see. Okay, upgrade my bat. Hey, by the way, I wonder if maybe it's important to let people not choose to upgrade the bat. Like, I see the button, which is great, but like maybe I can say I'll do it later or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Anyway, I want to get back to this. So now it looks like nothing happens until I get the right part of the meter, or until I just click somewhere on the meter. So I'm going to try to get in the center. Okay, and then the ball is shot. So here's what I like about this. This is just my opinion. What's great about this is originally, if anyone hadn't seen this game before, the game has always looked great. It's always had great animation. But for me, and I think Toxic, speak up, I think you might have agreed with this. Let me know what you think. There was kind of an issue where the ball is shot out of the ball dispenser, but you also have this moving target on this thing over here, this power meter thing, right? And the problem was it made it very difficult to kind of understand, what am I supposed to be focusing on? Am I waiting until the ball is visually close, like in real life, like I swing the bat at the right time? Or am I waiting until the meter is in the green? Or am I somehow waiting for both, which never totally made sense? So high quality tried a bunch of different stuff, which, by the way, is also the right thing to do. Like with playtesting, you should just do a lot of experimentation. But it looks like what we have now is I just look at this meter. My only job is to time this, which to me as a player makes a lot of sense. And then if I get it, then it shoots the ball, and then I swing the bat, which is awesome. Although I'm actually not sure why it's freezing like this. So anyway, that's my initial spiel, but I'd love to hear from high quality. You didn't get skipped, high quality, for once. First of all, Toxic, how dare you? What I have been saying this entire time is giving one thing to focus on. So that's stolen valor, everybody. That is Toxic, who is stealing my glory, like Prometheus stealing the fire from the gods. I don't think I'm exaggerating at all. Is that slow motion mode? But yeah, it's a good question. Is that what's going on here? Because whatever it is, it's kind of cool. And then this is one of the most fun parts of the game. This is so satisfying when the ball starts bouncing and it really starts flying and you're collecting power-ups and you're blowing cars out of the way. It's such an insane game, and I just love how crazy it is. Like, why is my tennis ball like have Hulk strength that can toss a car? I don't care. I love it. Oh, I see. It's a bug. But you know what, high quality? It may be a bug, but I wonder if there's some inspiration to be found there. Because it would be really cool if, for instance, I'm just throwing a crazy idea at you. It's up to you what to do with it. What if the first time I hit a car, it goes into slow motion mode? So it's like something in a movie, right? Exactly. Nox is identifying the cinematic quality of this so-called bug. So check this out. I hit the ball, it goes flying through the air, and then I hit this first car, and then maybe not this. Okay, right here, and then blam, slow motion Hulk smash, car goes flying, and then go back to full speed. That might be kind of cool. Something to think about. But this game is so cool now. I always liked the game. My only stumbling block was this first part of it. And now that it's like, okay, great, get the green, cool. And then I move my ball around, knock some cars out of the way. Like, there's really, really fun experiences to be had in this game. Toxic, you've been close to the ground of this one. What are you thinking at this point? How does it feel to you?
I think the before you hit the ball is a little bit more fun and not so chaotic, and it's easy to understand what's going on. So then you can then focus on the real fun part, which is this part here.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the other thing. It wasn't until he simplified that first step that I could really appreciate this part of the game. Because when I was first playing it, even up until yesterday, I was so hung up on like, how do I make sense of swinging the bat, that once this happened, I was kind of a little checked out. But now that the first step has been clarified, not even that it's simplified, it's just more clear, then I feel like now I can really get into this. And you're right, this is so much fun. It's actually the real heart of the game is this part. Even though I think the point of the game is to swing the bat and hit the ball, it's like, no, it's guiding the ball as far as you can, and it's really fun. Yeah, I'm getting caught up in it. And again, it's another great example for everyone that's paying attention to this. This is a game mechanic where I don't even really care about my score. Like, I kind of care, but what I'm really into is just how much fun it is to move this ball around. The way it bounces, the way the cars go flying. It's really exciting when I do get a power up, and it's like, yes, ooh, come on, give me a little more. Okay, well, so I don't know. This is a very, very well balanced game at this point. And I also love this little detail is you'll notice that little meter is different every time. So sometimes it's up at the top, sometimes it's down at the bottom, sometimes the green is in the middle. And so it keeps you on your toes, which I think is another subtle way to make a game have a little more staying power. Because even if I feel like it's the same thing every time, it's not the same thing every time because that subtle little change. So very, very cool. Agreed, the cars do make it fun. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can buy upgrades now. Although this still, I would fix whatever's going on here. Looks like you got a little bug. By the way, this shop, other than that little bug I pointed out, this shop looks amazing. Like this, I have not been giving this enough attention. High Quality put a ton of like design and effort. I'm at the top.
That's cool.
I love it.
I like that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like it's got this like trophy Hall of Fame kind of look, which of course suits the baseball kind of vibe. But okay, here's my only issue though. I feel like I can just go crazy OP like pretty quickly. But let's see what happens now that I've got like this Hammer of Thor bat. Look at this. Now I'm just flying. Oh man, this game is awesome. Okay, High Quality. Jeez. Okay, this is everybody played this game. Here's my suggestion for you, High Quality. I think, I mean, maybe tweak a couple things, whatever. Yeah, you say it's only me with that bug, but my browser experience probably represents a number of users, so it's worth thinking about. But here's my suggestion. I think you're very close. If there's anything else you want to polish, whatever, knock it out, and then publish your game. And then maybe starting next week, after it's had a few days to kind of build up some audience playtime, let's look at your numbers. We'll see how long people are playing the game, and then we can start brainstorming ways to. I mean, I'm assuming there's room to grow. Maybe this will be a breakout hit, and it'll have huge engagement from day one. Who knows? But if the numbers aren't where you want them, which is common for everybody's game, it's not just you. We'll look at those numbers and we'll think about it because I think this game. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the goal, right? We all want to be player's choice. I think this game totally would deserve that. At least just me personally. It's super fun. It's very original. It looks good. There's like a fun sense of humor to it with, again, I love a tennis ball knocking cars out of the road. So I think you've got so much potential here. But like DJam says, sometimes even really good games, there's some little detail that isn't perfect, and you don't know that until you've published it and you've looked at the numbers. So yeah, fix a couple of these little bugs, and then let's publish it and see how it goes. And maybe what we'll do next week, how about this? I'm just inventing this, but let me know what you guys think. Maybe next week's focus can be looking at all of your published games and working together to make the numbers go higher. Make number machine go burr. How's that sound? All right. I love this game. Great job, High Quality. You have once again lived up to your name. This game is indeed high quality. And I apologize for always skipping you. I know it was an inside joke. Man, of all the games to skip, I picked such a good one. Okay, let's see. Next up, let's go with Archaeologist. Pickaxe Palooza. How about that? By the way, I don't have Monvi here. Monvi's off until next week, so I'm flying solo. No one's keeping track of the games in the queue. Not that she really did that, but you know. Okay, I already love this. I don't even know where this is going. I really, really love this game. So let's see. Tap to drop pickaxe. Whoa! This is interesting. So at first, it has this kind of like 2D Minecraft Terraria kind of look. But then I start clicking. All right, let me see if I've got this right. Because Archaeologist You are an insane person, but in a good way. So it looks like Terraria or something like that, but it plays like a kind of a merge game where I'm dropping pickaxes. Oh, and wherever I drop it, and then the pickaxes merge and get more powerful. This is so cool. I love this. This is so cool. Okay, so here's let me just start this over because I want to take in the by the way, if anyone has not gotten to yet, I think it's lesson 6 is about what's called the FTUE. It's just a game industry term. It means first time user experience. And it means a first time user, they download your game, or in this case, they play it on Astrocade. What is their first experience like? How quickly do they get to the time to fun, TTF, how quickly does something fun happen? And what do they see and what do they have to do along the way, right? And a good FTUE usually gets you to something fun as quickly and as easily as possible. And I think, I wasn't really paying attention, but I think this game does a great job of that. So let's start over. So it loads fast on my machine. You got to test it, but so far loading is fine. I am immediately in the game world and I have an extremely simple first task, which is just tap to drop pickaxe. And I drop it and it immediately starts doing something. Now, I'm just thinking out loud, consider this play testing. Maybe somebody else, when they play test, will have a different opinion, but I think it might be nice to tell me to do it one more time. But maybe not. Maybe it's kind of fun to figure it out yourself. That's something to play around with. But the point I'm trying to make is look how quickly I'm in the game. Like the game is going. This is it. Now I just start clicking. I've learned everything I got to learn. I have nothing else to think about. And I just start having fun of like basically drilling down, literally drilling down into this, presumably deep kind of geological strata. But it's got the bounce physics. I'm leveling up. I'm getting upgrades. Ooh, reinforced tools. That sounds good. And I've got this cool pixelated kind of like a mix of Minecraft and Terraria. Like this game has got so much going in the right direction. Oh, and there's power-ups in the rock. So maybe there's like some time bonus thing I'm going to get. And, okay. So I've got a timer up here. So it looks like I'm running out of time. Presumably I've got to achieve something to escape whatever fate awaits me if I run out of time. Yeah, I'll make my pickaxe more powerful. That sounds good. Oh, and you know what? What I'm not doing, I'm not paying attention to where I'm dropping. So maybe I wonder if it's the strategy is to focus on just a narrow chasm like this, or if I should focus on broadening it out. But I guess the point is it doesn't matter because I feel very compelled to explore. Oh, look at this glow effect. This is really, really cool. Yeah, and again, Archaeologist has achieved the After Effects. I'm sorry, After Effects Office Hours goal, which is getting me as the host of the event to forget that I have hosting duties and I just start playing the game. That's always how you know you've made it. When either me or Gabe or Monvi, we just forget there's anyone else here and we're just playing the game. That's pretty much what I'm doing. This is real. I love that glow effect. That is so cool looking. So Archaeologist, let me try to. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I think so too. It is super fun. Yeah, sorry. The After Effects is a video special effects editing program that we use here. So mix that up. Not office hours. But Archaeologist, let me ask you: have you play tested this with anyone else? You've got me totally zoning out, just getting into the zone here. Have you done the live play testing that we recommend, where someone else plays your game while you watch?
I actually did. I think
Yeah.
it's one. I think it's two of my friends and my sister.
Okay, great. How'd that go?
Oh, I actually picked like nit picked the
Uh-huh.
playlist that I wanted to test because my sister is not really good at games. The other one was really good at games. The other one was casual. So I really play tested and reviewed all of their reactions. So
Yeah.
yeah, they all had the same idea of I just have to tap multiple times, but also they had the different thinkings on how to dig deeper, you know.
Uh-huh.
So the better quote unquote gamers immediately realized that, oh, I should just go to the sides.
Uh-huh.
My sister was just having fun, just grabbing upgrades. That's the really
Yeah.
no issue.
Oh
But
man.
yeah,
I
uh,
love. Okay, so sorry to cut you off, but I just want to point. You did it
oh yeah, go ahead,
exactly
go
right.
ahead.
It sounds like what you did is you picked three people across the spectrum, like a hardcore gamer, a casual gamer, and then maybe somebody in between, which is already exactly the right thing to do. Because Astrocade, we have a big audience, so you're going to get gamers, you're going to get non-gamers. So that was perfect. And I also want to point something out. My first suggestion was maybe add a second tutorial that says to tap again. But that was my opinion, and it sounds like everybody knew to do that without the tutorial. So my thinking is you can safely ignore my suggestion because you've already got like the testing data that basically says you don't need to do that, right? So I think you've already got it basically dialed in. That's awesome. And again, I just want to tell you this, dude. These glowing effects look so good now that I see all the different pickaxe colors. It's so cool. Okay, sorry. Please continue.
No, I mean, of course, yeah. I'm also quite shocked about the glowing effect because I
Really?
had the idea of like, not just the overlay glow. I also
Uh-huh.
had it the specific blocks, the nearest block to glow. So that's why it feels like it's actually in the world, even though it's just
Yeah.
2D.
Yes.
Besides that point, uh, I actually just more like play tested this myself. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
your idea about the second tutorial was right. Actually, I had that inkling that maybe why would they just stop in one pickaxe? I had
Mm-hmm.
that thought. So no way, there's that stupid, right? So I so you're right. I also chatted here that yeah, I'll just add a cooldown for when they do nothing or like
Okay.
they're very inactive. For some reason they would be inactive, so I'll just put
Yeah.
tap again, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool that you pointed out. So yeah, thank you for that.
Well, look, man, I mean, I'm looking at this game, and the only thing I can't verify, and we can test this pretty easily, is just how long does this take to download on a slower machine? Because that can often wreck even really, really good games. But other than that, I mean, I feel like this game's got everything I would hope for. It's got great onboarding. It's super quick. I'm not being bogged down by, lots of extra steps. I get right into the game. The core game mechanic is super simple and kind of addicting. You've also added all this great juice. Oh, wow, look at that. You've added all this, you dug so deep. You've added all this great juice with the effects, with the physics, the bouncing. It's got a great look and feel. So yeah, man, I think you've just knocked this out of the park. This is awesome work.
Oh, thank you. Did you by the way, did you also notice the surface changing?
Meaning like it's a different starting
Ah, yeah,
location.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, this is my third time through, and all three times it was very clear that it's randomized. That's a nice touch.
Thank you, thank you.
Cool. Take
By the
note,
way,
every.
I wanna ask if
Sure.
the mobile implementation and PC implementation, um, most players play on mobile? That's just the
Yes, actually, that's an important thing to
ah,
know. The majority of people do play on phones. It's actually a large majority. I test on a laptop on my laptop because this is how I do, office hours. But players like out in the wild just assume they're on their phone.
I see, I see. I actually tested this on my phone now that you mentioned it, and it
Mm.
was my phone wasn't that great, but it was just it was fine. It was laggy here and there, but it's just my phone. It's just the browser because it's in the browser game. Of course, it lags a bit, but
Right.
yeah, it's fine. And I was lucky that the game was optimized before I even just put in the prompt to optimize the game.
Mhm.
So thank
Yeah,
you
and
for
that
that.
can that can work sometimes. If you just ask Astra to make it more efficient or make it run better, that can work. The only advice I offer anyone that tries that is pay close attention to the details of your game because sometimes if you say to Astra like maybe your game's running slowly or it takes too much memory or something, and you say Astra, can you make it more optimized? Astra can do that, but sometimes Astra will do that. Yes, exactly by like actually removing features or downgrading stuff which is on the one hand valid. Like sometimes the way to optimize something is to make it simpler. But if you don't want that, then you've got to be very careful. So I recommend people try it, but this is why it's good to use the wish history, which lets you roll back a wish that you didn't like. Just be ready to do that if Astra breaks anything.
That's true. That's
But
true. I
again,
noticed some other things as well for that. And when I press optimize for every game,
mm,
they remove some implementation, most important implementation for the core mechanics. So yeah, it is
yeah,
true.
yeah. But awesome. I love it. Super cool game.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's try. I think the next one is going to be Scratch to Riches by Robbie. I don't know if Robbie's still here, but if IQ Level Up is recording, then we will make sure to go over the game for Robbie, because this game has gone through some really cool revisions. So I don't know if we've seen this during office hours, but the way this game originally worked, it's like a lotto scratch ticket kind of game, is you would basically tap these silver squares with like the silver kind of coating to reveal whatever's beneath it. And it kind of seemed like, to me at least, the most obvious thing that was missing was like, I want to actually scratch it off. So working with Robbie, we figured out how to do that, and now this is how it works. So it's like a proper scratch off game, which I think is really cool. What's great about the game is that the scratch ticket is half the game, and then the other half is it's almost like a financial literacy simulator. It's like, do you want to buy fancy stuff or do you want to invest, right? Which is kind of a funny idea. So it teaches you basically good habits of what to do with your money. So earn some money, win some money gambling, I guess, and then maybe spend it on watches or spend it investing and just see how it goes. But I think this is an example of where it's a simple game in theory, but what makes it feel really fun is that you have this physical task of this scratch off with this kind of cool effect. Yes, exactly. Scratching is a very satisfying thing, and that was my first thought, was just that people are going to want that. Oh, look at that! Oh, sad piggy bank. People are going to want that experience. I think half the reason people even play scratch tickets in real life, it's like, do they think they're going to win? Maybe, but I think people just like the scratching, right? So Robbie, you are welcome to DM or talk more in the channel about your game. We'd love to talk more about it. But for now, for the purposes of office hours, I think this is looking really good. I think the meta loop is cool. So this is a great example, by the way, of core loop versus meta loop. So let's try it again. Core loop is just this. It's just scratching and seeing what I get out of it, right? Which is very fun and very satisfying. The meta loop is this larger picture of what I do with my money, right? Do I invest? Do I buy fancy stuff? So this game really clearly defines that difference of like the core game mechanic and then the long-term goal as a player. So that's pretty cool to see. Okay, I think next up we have got Plankton Fun Stranded on Raft. You know what? I haven't seen this game, I think, for about a week or so. I remember it from, yeah, sorry, I always turn sound off just so we can talk, but maybe there should be, let's check it out. Are there scratching sounds? Let's see. And then we'll get to Plankton Fun. No, I don't think so. This would be worth adding. Yeah, so we've got, that's a cool sound. That makes sense. But man, I want like a, oh wait, sorry, I take it back. There are sounds, and they are, the scratching sounds are not great. See if you can wish for something else. If not, we can work together on that. But I really do think it's a good point. A nice scratching sound would totally complete that experience. I think Astro did you dirty on that one though. Gave you bad sound effects. It's not your fault. We'll work on it. All right, stranded on raft. The opposite of winning the lottery is being stranded on a raft. Controls, mouse, click, fire cannons. Survive the pirate waves. Oh, you know, if I remember last time, this game was unfinished and it looked really good, but you couldn't really play it yet. So let's try to play it now properly. This is cool. You know, it's funny. It's called Stranded on Raft, which makes you think it's going to be about like, you know, rationing supplies or something. But it's like, nope, shooting cannonballs at pirates, which is pretty. It's kind of a fun little surprise. Like you think it'll be this slow-paced sim, but no, you're in like a battle for your life. So let me give you some. So I'm going to do my playtest thing before I look in the chat. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts. I feel like I would still have preferred something a little bit more visual instead of that. Let me reload it. Here's what I don't love. I don't love this controls thing. Because first of all, I don't know if you, oh, and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting myself, but mouse. I don't know if this runs differently on a phone. Just make sure you're not talking about a mouse on the phone version, because that's not gonna make sense. But you know, for basic controls, I don't think you need to really tell people that. I think we can skip past this. People will figure out they can move around. What you might want to do though, just once the game starts, is just give me a little visual with like maybe like a cool, you know, pirate Jolly Roger flag graphic or something that says, you know, "Are ye matey? Tap the screen to loose the cannons," or something fun that just encouraged me to tap for the first time. I don't need a whole tutorial. It could even be just like an in-world, like a pirate voice message or something that just says tap to fire a cannon. So it's not even really a tutorial. It's just a little nudge. And then once you do it, it goes away. Because I think this game, what's good about it is that it's simple controls. And so you don't really need to give people a whole screen of instructions. You can just tell them tap, and then they get to see this cannonball go firing, and that's awesome. Okay, anyway, I love this concept though. I mean, who doesn't like pirates and cannonballs? So that's really great. It is also kind of funny to wonder, like, where is my cannon? Like, I'm on a raft. This is a kraken? Oh my god, this is awesome. This is cool. It's funny. I'm basically holding like a handheld cannon. I'm like a pirate with like a cannon pistol. I just run around shooting cannonballs. But hey, I mean, that's original. That's cool. Yeah, so Plankton Fun says still balancing the game feel. That's fine. No worries. You've got a very solid foundation. I could definitely imagine you perfecting this and refining it, but it's already off to a good start. You know, you say you're struggling to make a cannon, but I kind of feel like it's pretty cool the way it is. Oh, do you mean like a cannon for the other pirate rafts? Because I like that I've got basically a first-person cannon that I can just run around shooting. I will say this, I know you're balancing the game feel. It is way too easy. I feel like I am just unstoppable, which is kind of a fun feeling. So I wouldn't suggest you make it really hard, but it might be fun to have a little bit more of a challenge, because I feel like I can almost just stand here and they're not going to hurt. Or maybe, do I even take damage? Maybe that's why. Maybe there's no damage yet. Okay, so actually, let's talk through this a little bit. So you say like a cannon attached to the ship. I wonder if maybe it actually would be better if there was, say, a cannon at the edge of my raft, and I can run over here and maybe I can like reload, but I have to go back here to use the cannon. Like I can't fire from back here. So maybe it's like my cannon runs out, no more cannonballs, and then I run over here, and then one of these crates, one of these treasure chests, I can get more cannonballs out of it. So then there's like two game mechanic steps. There's shooting, and then there's like also running back to grab more ammo to reload, and then I have to be a little bit more strategic. That could be kind of fun. Thank you, archaeologist. Great job. Yeah, and you know what? It's not even about being realistic, because this game is not at all realistic, and I think that's the fun of it. It's really fun that we're having a cannonball fight on rafts instead of giant ships. I love that idea. So I don't think you need to worry about realism, but I do think you can just make the game a little bit more detailed and a little bit more challenging. So I've got a cannon mounted here, and then and maybe I can get other rations. Like maybe if I take damage, like maybe my raft can take damage, but if I run over here, I've got like planks of wood I can use to like rebuild my raft. So it's like fire the gun, run back, reload with more cannonballs, fire the gun again, run back, get planks of wood, rebuild the ship, and then that's my game loop. Something like that could be kind of cool. I'm just spitting ideas out here, so maybe these are good, maybe they're bad. It's up to you to think about it. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this potentially. Because what you've got that's great is you've got a really cool 3D look. I like the raft and the water and all that. I would really strongly recommend, what's the word? Like a background. I feel like, and I'm sure it's just maybe something you haven't gotten to yet, but it'd be great to have like, you know, like a sky or trees going by or something. Or if you're on the ocean, then maybe just a horizon. Something to think about there too. But as always, please, the main lesson of Astro Academy this season is testing. You've got some testing feedback from me. And actually, while we're talking, have you given this game to anyone else to play while you watch? By the way, guys, we're over time, but let's go a little bit longer because these games are great and I want to see everyone's game. So I'll stick around a little bit longer, no rush. Okay, well, that's my biggest piece of advice then, Plankton Fun, is give it to other people for testing. Because I think you've got more than enough to test. Like the game is in really good shape for testing. People can play it, people can give you feedback, and then maybe take it from there. Toxic, the more you pull this reverse psychology on me, the more I'm going to want to play your game. So of course I'm going to play Belittles next, because we are waiting for the latest installment of Rail Riding Zombie Tunnels. But we're playing Toxic's game. He can beg me not to play his game, and we're going to play that game.
All right.
I serve no man. I'm my own man. So if anyone hasn't seen it, this is someone there. Okay, if anyone hasn't seen it, this is Belittle's zombie apocalypse slow-paced railroad simulator. It's actually not that, but it is a phenomenal game. As you can see, it's a phenomenal game with a ton of great visuals, and pretty much every single. Oh, look at this! I think I just noticed this. We've got like a little gun selector down here. Every time we play this game, there's something new, and it's always something really good. Like just the quality of this game has been going through the roof. So this is another great example if you want some inspiration of how quickly you can use Astrocade to just make stuff, add stuff, improve stuff. And it's just a really fun game. This is another game that has scored the ultimate office hours compliment, which is I just start playing it and I forget you guys are even here. You're right, this does deserve audio toxic. What is wrong with me? Yes! Yes, this has a super heavy-duty Newgrounds kind of vibe. I hate to mute it because that audio was a 10 out of 10, but there's more commentary needed. So notice what happened. I got a new gun, right? I've never played this version of the game before, so the new gun menu thing is new. And as soon as I got it, it said press 2 to switch guns. And now I've got this awesome rapid fire gun. So look at this. This is a great example of how to do in-game tutorials. Like before I even know I need to know, it tells me what I need to know. It's like perfect. Oh, and it looks like, I think, if I see this correctly, I think Belittle has done what we had suggested, which is it looks like the zombies now kind of walk towards the player instead of going straight and passing the rail car. I mean, now we have this new issue of like they're right on top of me. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. But that is so cool. Yeah, okay. I love that everyone else is noticing how great this is. This is awesome. Oh, this would be an amazing co-op game. Yeah, when we add multiplayer, it's on our roadmap. One of these days we're going to have proper multiplayer. Yeah, okay. I guess maybe I discovered a bug. Let's just start this over because this is so cool. It deserves a little more attention. So here's what I'm going to keep an eye on. Something I'd pointed out. Yeah, check it out. See, he's walking at an angle now. So for anyone that didn't see this yesterday, originally the zombies all walked straight. At least I think they did. And you would notice that sometimes if they were really low, like down here or like up here above or below the rail car, once they caught up with the player, they would just walk past the player but still do damage. And now it looks like all the zombies eventually actually reach the player, which was kind of the missing piece. And so now we have this new issue where if they get too close, I guess I can't shoot them. But hey, how come that guy just fell to the ground? Did they all do that? Did I not notice that before? Did they do some of them just lay on the ground? I thought they all exploded. Multiplayer is a roadmap feature. It's not something we can't offer it tomorrow, but we're thinking about it all the time. Oh yeah, so that guy just fell down. And then let's see other guys explode. Oh man, there's so much detail in this game. Okay, so I'm pressing T to swap the I love this rapid fire, by the way. This is so fun. Press R to reload. Okay, and then like the reload is like kind of a cooldown thing. It takes a second to reload. That's great. Oh man, this is amazing. Yeah, this is amazing. Great job. Anything else, Belittle, before we move on? Okay. Oh yeah, let's see. Wave 10. You're right. Let's do it. Yeah. Mowing down zombies is really fun. You know you've made a good game when like just the mowing down is fun. Like I just want to spray bullets at these guys. This is really satisfying. If you guys want to know how to make a satisfying game, just check this out. The only problem is I am deliberately taking damage because I don't want to stop using the rapid fire. It's so much fun. I'm not even going to go back to the single fire shot. Even if it kills me, I don't care. I'm ride or die with rapid fire. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe when this runs out, I will switch back to this. Ooh, did I just find a little loophole? If I switch guns, oh, yep, I bypassed the reloading. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but check it out. Infinite reloading. Yeah, I agree. Rigger Rocket Mortis is a great name. It's a feature quickly. Great. Well, I discovered it. Finally, I proactively discovered something instead of missing the point while everyone in the chat is screaming at me. Companion. Please tell me I have the money for this. Ooh, you know what? Am I missing something? Do I not actually know how much money I have on the screen in the shop? Okay, cool. I can afford it. Great. Okay, so 2 issues. If I'm in the shop, I should definitely know how many coins I have. That looks like it's missing, and then it looks like the shop persists over the level map. That's my secret power. I play things in such a weird way that I will bug test your game in ways you didn't even know were possible. Well, you're welcome. Before I move on, is there actually a way to I can post the world map. Is there a way to get to the next level? Is that working? Because if not, I'll just replay it. Okay, let's see. Let's just jump all the way to the end. By the way, what B Little did here is a great tip, everyone. If you want to test your game quickly, you need to add little like level select shortcuts or stuff like that. Because you can imagine if every single time you had to, play all the way through the game, then testing the end of the game would take like hours and days. So this is a really useful thing to do. And I really do recommend when you guys play the game, play it with the sound on. Oh no, I don't have the money. Okay, well, it's fine. I'll just continue. Actually, okay, even now, I still don't think I can get to the next level. Yeah, he added like a whole train, kind of multiple train cars, I guess. Okay, got it. Well, look, B Little, I repeat myself, but this game is amazing. You've done incredible work here. And now, against Toxic's deepest wishes, I'm going to play his game. See how he likes it. Whoops. I don't take orders from anybody. Ooh, look at this upgraded title screen. Wow, this looks very premium. Chop, upgrade, dominate. This looks awesome. I love just the color scheme of this. The kind of gold, brown, kind of color graded forest look. That's awesome. This is another game, by the way, that has just leaps and bounds. It's just improved so quickly. Oh, now we have Blades of Grass. Every time I see this game, it looks like a year's worth of development has happened. And let's give it a little audio for a second. Okay, phenomenal. More great. Some of you guys are just killing it with audio.
So in the beginning, there's actually a little tutorial because you always seem to forget to swipe to pick up your log, so you never have enough money to upgrade anything. So in the very beginning, it should have a little finger that swipes across the screen showing you that you need to pick your logs up.
Let's find out. If it is not effective for anybody, I will find that out because I have weird tunnel vision and I just never notice obvious things in front of me. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I will say, in my opinion, this is what testing is for, to see if I'm an outlier, but I do think that was a little bit subtle. And the problem is there's so much cool kind of different, like so many objects and effects falling that the hand thing kind of gets lost in them. To me, that's just my take. So see if other people react that way. I think what you've done is great. It's the right move. It's just a question of, is it visible enough? And I like that you did it without text, by the way. That's another thing. Sometimes you have to have text, right? But to the extent that you can make your tutorials text-free, you should absolutely do that. If it's just a gesture and you can just show a finger doing the gesture, just do that. Because, obviously not everybody speaks English or reads English at the same level. We have players all over the world. But more importantly, it's just when you're in the middle of a game, it's easier to just see something than it is to read something. So I think all the right ideas, it might just be visually too subtle.
Yeah, I did it like literally while you were playing the other games.
No worries, no worries.
It was especially for you. But I did add some other stuff to the game, but you do have to get past segment 4 on the tree. Then there's new trees, and then I'm starting to add new stuff to the stuff that's falling from the top.
There's so many great games this time around with Astrocade. We're going to have to do some kind of like, I don't know, show and tell, student gallery or something, because you guys are really just going crazy with these games. It's really cool to see.
So you just put points into the chainsaw.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like I'm in the throes of like some kind of a fugue state. I just click and I tap and I just go where my instincts tell me. It's usually wrong, but I have fun. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So I need to make it more apparent what segment you're on. You're on 3. In the next 10 seconds, you can get through it.
Yeah, you maybe, but also I really am like an unusually like fidgety kind of ADHD player. So don't just base it on me. Like make sure other people are missing stuff too before you retool your interface. Ooh, that glow is great looking. These glow effects really pop. Great use of color overall in this game. It just has a really rich kind of color palette. Okay, let me try to actually read this. I wonder what Echo Strike is. Small chance we're bonus hit. Okay, look at me. Look at me playing like a normal person, reading things. Damage boost. Yeah, why didn't I do that? I want damage boost. Okay. So, Toxic, I know you've done, I think, a decent amount of play testing with this. Is that right?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit.
So what have those sessions been like? Like what things have you either learned or maybe been surprised by? Like walk us through it a little bit.
Well,
Not me, I mean other people, like more normal players.
Well, most of my feedback wasn't from my mechanic, so I feel like my core mechanic is actually pretty strong.
Yeah.
Because none of it really came from that. Most of it came from the way the background looked, or the way the trees looked, or the way the ground looked, or tutorial, But honestly, the biggest thing for my core mechanic is some people feel that my act doesn't have enough oomph to it, and so they feel like it should feel like it's connecting a little bit more, or it should feel like there's a little bit more forward momentum. And I've really been trying to work on it, but I can't seem to get it to where it feels completely perfect, right? It doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could give the player more feeling of momentum, and I don't feel I'm able to get that for some reason.
Right.
But other than that, I think that was most of my feedback.
Okay. I mean, the beauty of testing is you don't have to go into it with an agenda. Like, I'm going to make the game mechanic better, because you don't know until you've done testing if you even need to make it better. And it sounds like in your case, other than maybe some very small tweaks, you pretty much had a good game mechanic from the start, which then means people can focus on other stuff. Like you mentioned the background, you mentioned tutorials. So the beauty of testing is it'll just tell you what to focus on instead of you trying to guess, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Where did the skill tree come from, by the way? Like the idea for you just came up with that, or was that like it's such a fun little pun?
I play so many RPGs and so many roguelikes. This isn't the first time that I've seen a skill tree. But the first time I seen a skill tree, I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there. That's good. So I feel like that's kind of something that when it's presented to them, they're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, as always, I love it. It's great. And it's almost every game is like that this time around. Every time we play it, there's like legit upgrades and it actually feels measurably better. So How do you feel about it? Where do you feel you are in your process? How close are you to like maybe being ready to publish it?
I think I have everything down. I think I need to balance the skill tree a little bit more, make it a little bit more meaningful, and then I think that I need to do some extra levels. So right now I'm sitting at level 3, level 2's done. I just need to add some more stuff for 3. And then my other thing is getting textures that align really well, that tile. That's a tile texture on my tree, but to get that that nice, neat tiled texture, you got to have something that's able to be repeatable. So it's got to be the same on the top as it is on the bottom, and it's got to be the same on the right. So that's where my struggle is right now. So but what's not really that much of a struggle, right? I'm just adding levels now. So I think
Great.
I think I'm good to go by next week to publish.
Okay, well, how about this? I mean, the more I talk about this, I think the next step for all of us, just as a group, is maybe starting next week, depending on who's ready. When the games go live, we start looking how they're performing, and maybe the next phase of this little session, because we don't have like a hard deadline. We can keep doing Astro Academy as long as it's useful to you guys. So maybe the next step will be, let's look at your numbers and let's see if we can get anyone that wants their game to perform better, and we won't know until we get there. We'll put some work into that as like a next step. So it won't just be publishing on your own. It can be like, let's do a proper analytics pass together. But I love it. Awesome. So I think that's everybody's in Astro Academy. I don't think I missed any. Let me know if I missed anything. I don't think I did. And it looks like we have a newcomer. At least I'm not recognizing the name. I'm going to play this game, Grow a Candy 2 from MJ_123. Although it says Grow a Candy 2, so clearly it's not the first one. Name my garden. Gardenia. Whoops. Okay. We got like a farming sim. Cool. Inventory. Oh, and I guess the idea is I grow candy. That's kind of a cool idea. Hello, MJ123. Feel free, either voice or chat, tell us about your game. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live playtest session for you, which is I've never played the game before, and I'm going to try to play through it, and I will just think out loud while I'm playing. And you can think of me as a potential random player and see what's working, maybe what's not working, or what you might want to change based on how people react. So I'm clicking around, and it looks like currently I can't do anything. Like maybe I don't have any seeds equipped. I can go into inventory, and it looks like I don't have any seeds in inventory. I guess that answers my question. Now I can see that I have 100 candy coins. So I guess I'm going to buy some stuff. I'm going to start with some common seeds. Okay, go to inventory. All right. So far, I feel like everything's playing pretty well. I feel like it's all working out. And I guess they grow automatically, which is nice. I'm just watching them evolve. And then at some point, I suppose I'm going to harvest and then go sell. What is tools? All right. Kind of looks like you got all the bases covered. So far, so good. I'm liking this. I guess they're ready at this point. This looks like they are fully harvested. Okay, and now let's sell. I'm just going to sell everything. 160 coins. Nice. All right. I'm just going to YOLO this. Give me... Oh, I was able to buy everything. Spent all my money. Cool. But I've got a very fancy cotton candy seed. So I'll use that. I'll use this. Okay, one completely random thought. You can take this or leave this. I feel like it's a lot of steps to kind of do everything. Inventory, there's nothing wrong with having an inventory, but personally, I think it'd be nice if maybe there was a little bit more space on the screen where I could just have all of my seeds here. So I can just tap, maybe it'd be great, would be tap and drag, because that's kind of a fun game motion. Whereas having to go into the inventory every time, it just adds extra steps, right? And then maybe it'd be kind of fun if I could drag them back or something. And the reason I say that is just because I think this game loop feels really good. Like it's working fine. Nothing is wrong with this game, I don't think. But I do feel like it just, it's like a lot of friction, a lot of steps. So in other words, check it out. So I've got a blank kind of patch of dirt, soil. This is not so bad, going in one time, clicking it. But then the moment I have to do another one, it's like I realize I keep repeating this. So I don't think we need this separate window. It'd be really cool if they were all right down here and I can just drag, like I'm actually planting seeds. That's something to think about. But that's just me. The beauty of testing is if you give this to 2 or 3 other people may be fine with the way it is and you can decide. But maybe somebody else might have a similar idea and then you see a pattern and then you know what to work on. But honestly, I think this is all working pretty well. I'm kind of speed running a little bit. I'm just selling everything at once, but it's like I'm making money. I'm kind of, upgrading and I'm getting, ooh, I can buy a sprinkler. That's cool. Let's buy some new stuff and let's see how my new toys work. So I'm going to plant some stuff, and then, oh wait, is this a bug? Oh no, it's not. Okay. All right. How do I use my stuff though? Can I use the sprinkler or the shovel yet, or the watering can? Because I bought them, but I don't see a way to use them. This is a cool feature. I can see how much I'm going to get. Okay, so that's a great example of something that was not clear. Maybe other people will figure that out. I did, because I don't see a point where I'm like equipping the watering can, so I just kind of have to imagine it's there, which is probably not the best way to do it. But it's great that you've got these tools. That's a really fun idea. So I think. Oh, okay. Now I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This unfortunately I don't think is clear enough. I would find another way to do that. And the sprinkler, I paid for a sprinkler, but I don't know how to use it. I don't see anywhere I can click to make the sprinkler active. Cool. Well, I've given you some initial thoughts. Yeah, no worries. I'm assuming your game is still in progress. But I think what you've got here that's great is you've got a really good foundation. It's got a very clean, nice look. Like this is a great layout. This whole thing just feels very, nicely put together. Personally, I would love to have a more direct drag and drop way to put my seeds in the thing. And someone else, I think it was B Little or someone mentioned that some more effects and some frames would be great. I agree with that, but I would advise you through testing and stuff, get the core gameplay worked out first and then go back in and, for instance, when I plant a seed, maybe add a little bit more animation, more transitions, but you can get to that later. That's not something you need to worry about now, right? Get the game playing exactly how you want it to play, and then you can go in and make it shinier and more polished. But I do agree at some point it'd be really useful to add that stuff. Yeah, by the way, I took a second to play B Little's video. You can kind of hear the sounds in the background. Oh, wow, look at this. Everyone watch the video if you haven't seen it. There's a whole like progression through the game that B Little's working on. That's amazing. Yeah, no, I think that sounds great, MJ. That's a good idea. You don't have to do the drag and drop for everything, but it might be nice for the really basic seed planting action, because it's such a common thing. You do it so much that you want to find a way to make it easy and fun instead of having extra steps. And then the only other thing for me is I would really like to have more visibility of what these tools are, so I can see maybe if I buy a watering can actually appears up in the corner and I can drag it over, my plant to drop water or whatever. So think about that. But again, it's your game. You should design it any way you like, but this is feedback for you to consider. Cool. Well, we've gone a little over time, but it was worth it because you guys are just, as always, doing a great job. These games are amazing. B Little is protecting his IP. That's just the way it goes sometimes. And thanks, MJ, for sharing your games. Glad you like the feedback. Please feel free to show up next time. Love to see how your game progresses. Also, MJ, if you'd like, I can add you to Astro Academy, which is kind of what we're doing today. This is not just office hours. It's also Astro Academy, where we provide these lessons that you can read at your own pace. You can join us in the Astro Academy channel, and you can share your game there as well for feedback. So I'll add you to the list, and we'll take it from there. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Another great Astro Academy /office hours. Really appreciate all the hard work. And again, as always, ping me in the channel or DM me. Either way. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
All right. That was the outro music for Astro Academy as the credits roll. See you guys.